Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the second NetApp presentation of the day. My name is Julian Wheeler, and I am the NetApp Vendor Business Manager here at Westcon-Comstor. I'm responsible for driving our NetApp business across New Zealand. We are joined today by Balbir Burji, the Solutions Engineering Manager at NetApp Asia Pac, and Balbir will be sharing with us how to digitally transform your customers using the world's #1 converged infrastructure stack called FlexPod. But before we get going, I just have a couple of housekeeping points. The first one is, please use the Q&A function to submit questions throughout this short presentation, and I will endeavor to answer them during the presentation, or time permitting at the end. We'll stay on after the presentation for a short while so you can ask more questions. And finally, at the end of the presentation, when you close this down, there will be a short post-webinar survey. We'd really like you to answer those questions, please. Anyway, without further ado, I will hand over to Balbir. Thank you, Balbir. The floor is yours.
Excellent. Thank you, Julian. Really good. Again, I want to begin by first thanking Westcon for putting this awesome event, and also our partners across New Zealand and maybe ANZ, and our customers and prospects. So thank you. My name is Balbir Burji, as Julian said. My role is the Solutions Engineering Manager across Asia Pacific. I lead a team of solution architects helping and supporting our partners and customers across APAC. So with that, a quick history of NetApp. So NetApp is a 27+ year young company, a provider of data storage and data management solutions across the hybrid multi-cloud. And this recognition is one of the many others highlighted by Gartner as a leader in primary storage as of 2019. So we will be sharing this slide later on, and if any of you are interested, there is a link on this deck where you can go and read further reviews from Gartner around the leadership. But I'm not here to talk much about FlexPod, more so on, I'm not here to talk much about NetApp, but more so on FlexPod. With that, what is FlexPod? Simply put, FlexPod is one of the converged infrastructure full stack solutions developed in the industry using the best of both worlds. There is Cisco UCS Compute, Nexus switches from Cisco, and NetApp Storage. It was built to address the customer's challenges surrounding time to deploy, test, validate, and address the overall operational and lifecycle simplicity across the entire stack. Thus, FlexPod provides pre-validated and flexible architectures across myriad of applications where customers can confidently and rapidly deploy to address the challenges. So let me quickly walk through the momentum of FlexPod. Since its inception in 2010, the combined revenue to date between both Cisco and NetApp is more than $13.5 billion, has 9,500 customers, and many in New Zealand and across the world. It has the highest number of validated designs than any of the nearest competitors out there. And more importantly, the FlexPod solution is served by a strong network of 1,100 partners serving in 100 countries. With that, I would once again thank all the partners and customers in putting your trust in us. But it doesn't stop there. Today, with both Cisco and NetApp, we continue to bring new solutions where customers can confidently deploy. Whether you take new applications such as AI, ML-based workloads with NVIDIA, and it's also the most cloud-connected CI platform in the world for various use cases. Whether it is for DR, whether it is for backup, or maybe for analytics, or you want to just optimize costs. So underpinning FlexPod comes a special sauce from NetApp. This is ONTAP, the data management OS, which truly provides unfair advantages. With that, let me quickly go over a few things on the slide. Starting on the left side of your screen on the bottom, so what you're seeing is a NetApp arrays. They come in all-flash platforms or all-SAN array, again, underpinning all-flash system, and then the hybrid systems. The key thing to remember here is, whether it is part of a FlexPod or not, they provide you a flexibility to start small and grow as your demand grows. You can scale up and scale out. And it is the most adaptable system as far as I can tell, based in the storage industry. I've been in like 20 years almost. It can take any new media that may be coming. For example, whether you have you're looking at from a storage standpoint, like a QLC drives, or all-flash SSDs based on NAND, CMLC, it doesn't really matter. It is very adaptable, and you can mix hybrid and all-flash systems and promote and demote workloads as you wish when you need it. It comes in software-defined, meaning if you have a server with a JBOD, you can deploy a software and then connect to the core to move data across your remote office or to the core or maybe into the cloud. More importantly, we expose all these capabilities via access protocols from an end host or an application, whether it is end-to-end NVMe, Fiber Channel, iSCSI, SMB, CIFS, and most recently, we also added S3 protocol in ONTAP, especially for workloads such as analytics, or you want your application to directly communicate using S3 protocol. And supporting all the applications, whether you take from SAP HANA, Oracle, analytics, workloads from OSs such as Linux and Microsoft Windows. So why customers choose FlexPod? Right, I mean, if you go back to the history of of FlexPod or just before FlexPod, customers were always about risk, and I think it's true. Even today, risk mitigation is very critical. Everyone is wants to. If I want to deploy an application, let's take for example SAP HANA. You want to ensure that my critical app is supported, and if there is any issue, it will be solved with no problems at all when you raise a support case, whether it is with SAP, because SAP in this case has a strict KPIs, but it doesn't matter. So it's all about risk mitigation, meaning a reduction of time, and it is pre-validated between Cisco and NetApp. As I mentioned earlier, we provide 170 validated architectures which you can confidently deploy. And it is efficient across the platform. Efficiency is not just about reduction in data storage by using capabilities such as deduplication, compression. In fact, FlexPod provides reduction capabilities even in the hybrid systems, not just limited to flash. And it doesn't really matter what media we use underneath, whether it is on-prem or in the cloud. So overall reduction in OpEx and CapEx is a compounding effect when you start to leverage the capabilities of FlexPod. Performance is another key factor. Whether you want to say scale out by adding new nodes into the same cluster and promote and demote workloads, either by just performing software upgrade, are another key factor why customers choose FlexPod. Flex in FlexPod has always been about flexibility, whether it is for simply adopting newer storage media like flash to QLC. For us and for NetApp, it's always about media is just another media. How we provide solutions to the higher level applications is what matters. But for example, whether we from NVMe to scale out, or starting small and grow, or even shrink, all with zero downtime, non-stop operation is the underpinning of FlexPod from an ONTAP standpoint. The system also enables customers to promote workloads from hybrid to all flash with zero downtime. Data reduction capabilities, which I mentioned, right? With FlexPod, it's not just about all flash systems. You get data reduction across whether it is hybrid systems or maybe in all-flash systems, without rehydrating the data. For example, if you were to say you have an application today running on a hybrid system, let's say if you promote into an all-flash system, we do not rehydrate the data. We inherit the data, we keep all the efficiencies so you get best bang for the buck, and more importantly, the performance. Finally, on flexibility, integration with third-party software like Commvault, Veeam, Rubrik, Leondris, or it doesn't really matter, our NetApp own scripts, for example, can further improve the overall data protection, both in performance, space efficient across clusters, and top all of this with compounding effect on simplicity. Some of the latest innovations with FlexPod are around using the new capabilities, like for example, using Intel Optane DCPMM memory, which is a persistent memory provided by Intel. This by itself can help you consolidate your VMs or VM density due to higher memory config with overall lower TCO and with 3 times better performance. Top it off with NetApp Max Data File System, a piece of software that gets deployed on the host, which creates a persistent disk using Optane memory and presents a POSIX-style file system, meaning if you have an application where you want to give the performance almost at the speed of memory, meaning DRAM, you do not have to transform your application. And all this is running at memory speeds and giving you latencies of either a single-digit microsecond, again, microsecond latency or 10 to 50 microsecond latency based on the workloads. AI ML support was added with NVIDIA T4 and Tesla 100 cards on Cisco with FlexPod. SAP HANA is another classic area where we are seeing lots of adoption. For example, today you may have an SAP HANA deployed in a scale-out architecture, meaning more than one server. You may be splitting your data across 2 compute nodes because of the past limitations of memory. With FlexPod, now with Intel Optane, you can actually go with a scale-up architecture. What it means is lower cost. Second, SAP themselves are recommending to go with a scale-up architecture because Optane gives you more memory, and all with FlexPod, and they're pre-validated, meaning it meets the stringent SAP's KPIs. RoboOffice with the latest all-flash C190 system for remote office and Cisco C220 server is also been certified for FlexPod. And regardless of what application you use, whether you use VDI solution based on Citrix or Horizon or Oracle, SAP, it doesn't really matter. And the last point on this slide is around the converged systems advisor. And again, I really emphasize that if you are a customer who already have FlexPod, highly recommend you check out Converged Systems Advisor. It gives you a visualization across the entire stack, not just a NetApp storage, but Cisco UCS, network, and also NetApp storage. What that enables you is on the operational side, the life cycle side. For example, if you were to perform an upgrade in future, let's say just a compute, for example, or a vSphere upgrade, it will tell you what is supported, what is not supported in a very, very fast and efficient way. Again, these are some of the things that we have added jointly with Cisco and NetApp, and hopefully some of these new innovations will help our customers and prospects. I also want to touch base on a capability that we have introduced in ONTAP. It's called Fabric Pool, or you can think about a tiering, a cloud tiering. A Fabric Pool is a storage tiering capability, which will help lower the overall TCO. But transparently tiering the cold data off to the target S3 bucket. This bucket can be either on-prem, like a NetApp storage grid, which is an object store, or maybe, let's say, IBM object store, or it doesn't really matter what you have on-prem object store, or maybe to the cloud. Fully transparent. That means if you have an application accessing storage on an all-flash, you don't need to do anything. It will continue to work and yet provides you better cost or optimizing cost. And the same technology is available in various deployment models today across hybrid cloud. For example, if you're concerned about your storage cost in AWS, GCP, Azure, then cloud tiering, aka Fabric Pool, will help you lower the cost. Apart from above, if you have a non-NetApp array or data, doesn't matter where it is sitting, we have a tool that you can actually run against the data. It will discover the data based on the last access patterns, and it will give you a report saying, hey, you know what, I have this, let's say, 100 terabyte. Outside of this 100 terabyte, 50 terabyte of data is not touched, say, over the last 2 months. Is there an opportunity to optimize cost? If yes, then give us a call. So storage tiering, FlexPod, just kind of add a point on it. So we do have a promotion as we speak. So the first 10 terabyte Fabric Pool term license is available at no cost if you go for a AFF C190 solution. I do want to touch base on NetApp ActiveIQ, which is a digital advisor that uses AI ops to simplify and automate the care and optimization of your NetApp environment, and leading to reduced risk and higher availability. In a nutshell, ActiveIQ uses telemetry data that is received from all the endpoints. These endpoints could be any NetApp product or a solution, whether it is deployed on-prem or in a co-location or maybe in the cloud or maybe just a piece of software. It doesn't really matter. We get all this telemetry data as in logs every day or based on events. And we collect the data and then layer the prediction engine on top of it. One thing I do want to highlight on this slide is ActiveIQ today can also discover inactive data. So for example, if you have an all-flash NetApp system as an example, if you have ONTAP 9.5 running or later, which is a version of OS, it will tell you, okay, Mr. Customer, you have ABC system has 50 terabyte. Out of 50 terabyte, you have 20 terabyte not active. Would you like to optimize costs? Then it will enable you to move the data either on-prem object store or maybe to the cloud. So my ask is, if you haven't checked ActiveIQ in the past, highly recommend you go and check it out, not just for the capability that I mentioned, but you can also create your own dashboards, whether just wanted to know about health of your environment, how things are going, and you can do automated reports. And there are many more. I want to close off with sharing a story about one customer in Australia and specifically in Tasmania. And I know there are many customers in New Zealand who have deployed FlexPod over the years. But I thought I would take a case study which is close to my house. So TAS Networks is a government-created electricity and transmission distributor in Tassie, Australia. And over the years, they have merged multiple companies, and it presented a challenge to kind of numerous legacy platforms from each company, including applications such as payroll, HR, and many others. And to bring some of these platforms into a common area, TAS Networks decided to go with SAP HANA. And at the time, they were looking for a flexible architecture to get the benefits of both, not just from meeting the strict or stringent KPIs for SAP HANA, but also how to leverage the capabilities from a rapid recovery standpoint, rapid backup. And then because SAP, as you know, is not just the production, it has multiple landscapes. Every SAP instance has dev, test, QA, pre-prod, and many more landscapes. And for them, time to market is very critical. How to spin those environments very rapidly and fast, and also going for a platform which is certified and supported, and they know they get the right solution. And they selected SAP HANA on NetApp FlexPod. And this is actually the second iteration of their HANA on NetApp FlexPod, which uses Metro Cluster solution, provides zero RPO across the 2 data centers, which helps them optimize cost. And most recently, they also started using Fabric Pool technology to optimize their ongoing cost. So again, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your time, and happy to take any questions that you may have now or maybe later. I do encourage you to please fill the survey. It helps me to improve. And also, if you're keen for a prize, please fill out and let us know how we have done, and happy to help out in any way, shape, or form. Again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Balbir. Appreciate your very quick and concise and comprehensive overview of what is quite a big subject, really, FlexPod. So yeah, I don't see many questions on the chat. So please, if you have questions, please put them up there, post them up there, and we'll get to them. In the meantime, I'd like to just remind the New Zealand contingent here on the call of the events that we've been running over the last couple of years, and all the branding around something called OneSource. So if you haven't heard of it, you will be next time it's run. OneSource is a Westcon, NetApp, and Cisco event. We run about twice a year. And it's basically a very simple message. Westcon-Comstor is your one source to procure FlexPods from. We have all of the Cisco side of the business here in Westcon-Comstor, and we have NetApp as well. And we have VMware, if that's your chosen hypervisor of choice. So basically, you can put everything together on one single PO. We could even boil it down to one SKU if you wanted, one SKU. We can do staging of the equipment for you as partners in our staging center here, and ship it out to your end customer so that ready to go. All you have to do is rock in and start doing the higher value professional services work around it. So that's one source, a Westcon NetApp initiative. And we always like to brand it around our barbecue and have a nice feed with it. So that's a good thing. So, Balbir, appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so we've had a number of participants here, a good number of participants on the call. Again, I see no questions. Do I see any questions coming through? Let me just check. I don't think so. No, there we go. Yep, Mark Kramer says, thanks, Balbir. There you go. So, all good. I think we'll just leave the line open for a little while if anybody else wants to add anything. Yeah. Otherwise,
cool. So I hope, again, I mean, I really, thanks, Jules. Given that we have a couple of minutes, maybe I will just throw a few things. Really check, I mean, especially for our partners and existing customers, leverage ActiveIQ. Honestly, go and visit, check it out. In fact, I will. One thing even myself have uncovered is, you can also use Cloud Insights today. Like literally, you log into ActiveIQ, enable Cloud Insights, which is again free. What it enables you to do is basically give you a full view of your not only just NetApp infrastructure, but also VMware performance or VM performance, and lots of other things that are embedded. Whether you, let's say, for example, I know in the earlier session that we have from NetApp around cloud in Azure, right? All those things are kind of glued together. And it's like, and if you're thinking about how to optimize costs, lower your costs, even on a NetApp existing infrastructure, please check it out. Please, go and just quickly check, what are the new capabilities. Like, for example, we have added recently a automatic workload detection. At the moment, and to be really honest, it is about 65 to 70% accuracy. But over a couple of months, we are expecting that the accuracy rate to be increased to like 95%. Why I'm saying that is workload is one of the key. Sometimes, we don't know what workload customers are running. I mean, you may know, we may not know. There are ways we actually doing some analytics in the data that we are seeing based on the access patterns, based on maybe just say traditional convention methods using naming convention maybe. But we added all this. What it means is tomorrow, let's say, for example, if you want to go to the cloud, or maybe if you're looking to refresh infrastructure for, let's say, an application called Exchange or SQL or whatever, then we know exactly how, hey, Mr. Customer, you have SQL running, you want to move or you want to provide flash storage or whatever, then you can pick that application, and whatever volumes that are available attached to those apps, you can simply move across. Again, I would like to thank you for this opportunity, Westcon. Really appreciate it. Please reach out. Yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. On that note, I'm going to end the recording now, and we'll close down this event. Please do ask the questions. Balbir, I'll see you soon, buddy. All the best, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.